I think we were in the Plymouth Reliant wagon in 1970 when Mom and Dad took our family from Pittsburgh to Gettysburg, my first trip on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Little did I know at the time what an historic engineering feat the Turnpike was. Today is the 85th anniversary of its opening, which set the national standard for long-distance, limited-access superhighways. In part, the Turnpike owes a thank you to an attempt by railroad magnate William Vanderbilt and businessman Andrew Carnegie in the 1880s to build a railroad across southern Pennsylvania. During that failed two-year project, more than half the roadbed was laid and 7 tunnels were partially bored through the mountains before the money dried up. 50 years later, during the Great Depression, FDR's New Deal funded construction projects to create jobs. And with that promise of federal money, Pennsylvania set out to build a new toll road using the abandoned railroad bed and tunnels. The original roadway stretched 160 miles from just west of Harrisburg to just east of Pittsburgh. Ground was broken in October 1938. 15,000 workers were hired. The plan was to finish in just 20 months by May 1940. The 7 tunnels, 2 lanes wide with a combined length of almost 7 miles, were particularly challenging. Typically just a few tens of feet were bored per day. Roadway paving began in the summer of 1939, but only 13 miles of concrete had been poured by the spring of 1940, in part due to weather delays. Fortunately, the pace quickened to as much as 3 miles per day that summer, and the Turnpike opened just a few months late, on October 1st. The original toll was $1.50, one way from Irwin to Carlisle. A 2.5-hour drive on the new road, half the time it took on the other major road across southern Pennsylvania at the time, Route 30, the Lincoln Highway, which was stop and go through many small communities and involved a cumulative climb of 13,000 feet. In contrast, the tunnels on the Turnpike reduced the total climb to less than 4,000 feet, with grades no more than 3%, greatly reducing the danger from icy or snowy slopes. There were other innovations as well. The Turnpike was the first highway in the U.S. on which traffic could move at top speed over its full length, with no cross streets or railways or traffic lights. And as much as possible, the road was built on southern exposures to give sunlight the best chance to melt any ice or snow. In the 1950s, the Turnpike was extended west to the Ohio border, east to Valley Forge, and then to the Delaware River, and the northeast extension to Scranton was built. In the 1960s, an additional tube was bored at 4 of the tunnels, while the other 3 tunnels were bypassed, making the entire length of the highway at least 4 lanes wide. The Pennsylvania Turnpike was built 16 years before the first U.S. interstate highway, and so is rightly considered the granddaddy of the interstates, the model upon which other limited access superhighways were built. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment with more.